love you. Ooh, and I will always love you. Oh God. Hey, didn't see you guys there. I'm driving, as you can tell. Shaky video. Yay! I'll get a better stand at some point. I wanted to talk to you guys though, and I have a lot going on. I woke up fairly decent early time, I don't know. And I took the dog to go to the dog park, got my exercise in for the day. All right. Had to figure that out. I got a lot of stuff going on, got a lot of things I'm trying to accomplish today before my work week. And I got that in, so I feel good. I got my physical 30 minutes of walking today, feeling really nice. On my way to do more stuff, stop by, drop the dog off, grab some water, so that's cool. Stay hydrated, my friends. While I was walking around at the dog park, I was thinking about something my nutritionist talked to me about, and it's basically about binge eating. I have a really, really huge problem with that. Obviously, I think if you see anybody overweight, chances are they probably have a binge eating situation going on. And when you think about binge eating, you're thinking, oh, he must eat a lot of food. It's a lot deeper than what it sounds. You know, when you binge watch movies and shows on Netflix, you go crazy, right? You know, they drop 100 billion episodes on you at one time, and you sit there for hours and hours, not getting anything done, just getting sucked into these shows, and you binge watch the shit out of them. Well, that's kind of the same idea when it comes to food, and a lot of it is psychological. A lot of it is habits that you built over the years, and a lot of it is just the way that the relationship you have with food and how you treat it. So one of the things I've noticed when it comes to binge eating, because I still do it, I'm trying not to, I don't do it all the time, but I'm trying to fight that. I'm trying to build a better relationship with food. I want to treat food as a fuel source. I mean, think about it. Way back in the day, it was just all about survival. They were just trying to hunt and gather food to survive, and they didn't always succeed. And so to them, food was like a sacred source, something to stay alive. And then at some point, humans evolved, technology evolved, and food became so much easier in other parts of the country, obviously America. And we started creating our own food. We started engineering shit that's not good for us, but it is cheaper to make and easier to get, way more convenient. So now, take the fact that it's easy to get all this food and look at your relationship with it. So when it comes to binge eating, I've noticed a lot of it is kind of like a self-punishment type thing, and I think it's there's just so much involved with it, and that's why I'm trying, and I'm working it out right now. As you can tell, this isn't the smoothest video as far as shaking as I drive, and also smoothest as far as my thinking process. And it's something that I'm working through right now, and I wanted to make this video about it just to let you know. You know, people watch my videos, they get inspired, they get motivated, they see me losing weight, and they're like, what are you eating? What are you doing with food? And that's something that I'm still working with. Now, once I get a better grasp on it and I learn more about it, nutrition-wise, and just mentally controlling myself better as far as moderation goes. Moderation, right? That's not something that, you know, they push towards consumers. They want you to go crazy. They want you to spend all your money on food, on clothes, on cars, every materialistic item that you want. They want you to dive deep into it, dive into your pockets and spend it all, right? So moderation is definitely a big key, and that's something that you have to work on if you don't want to binge eat food. So binge eating is very, very unhealthy, and you don't even have to just be an overweight person to binge eat. There's skinny people that have eating problems as well, and they can binge eat and probably puke it up or just not gain weight because of their genetics. So there's so much that goes into binge eating, and I'm trying to break down each part of that so I can work through it, recognize it, and not do it anymore. But it's hard when you spent so many years of your life just as a habit binge eating, and not even just when you're happy, sad, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can do it in any moment, and it starts to become part of your life, part of your schedule. Every time you sit down to watch a show, you're like, I can't watch the show if I don't have a whole bunch of food or snacks in front of me. And then you don't realize how many calories and how many bags of snacks that you're eating. By the time the show's over, you look at the damage and you have all this garbage everywhere of all this food that you just shoved in you, eating so many calories that you don't need, and eating so many kinds of food that you shouldn't be eating. So that's just one part of binge eating food. Another part is, like I said, the relationship that you have with food. I'm still trying to battle the fact that I use food for coping. I use it when I'm happy. I use it as a self-punishment tool the most. And then a lot of the times when I do eat that food, I'm coming at it from, okay, I need to survive, so what am I gonna eat today? And then it just turns into binge eating. And then after that, it's beating myself up because I just ate all this crazy shit that I know that I shouldn't have. So this is something I'm working on. Binge eating is just an insane thing, and I'm trying to break it down into different categories so I can work through it. And as I do that, I'm gonna keep you guys updated, and when I learn more, as I'm going through, I will give you those hints and tips if anybody else is suffering from this, which I know a lot of friends and family that do, and it's sad. But like I said, a lot of it has to do with your relationship to food and just your habits on how you do it. I think scheduling your meals throughout the day and eating at a normal time and eating in a normal environment rather than sitting down and watching TV and just focusing on what you're watching instead of focusing on what you're eating. And then the thing that I talked about with my nutritionist is to focus more while you're eating. Focus on your chewing, focus on how fast you're eating. You know, a lot of us, we just eat, and we do it really, really quick. We got to get it done. We got to get full. We got to get all that crammed inside, and we're not thinking about, you know, the food that we're actually eating and what we're putting in our body. So that's what I'm doing. That's my goal, is I'm trying to focus on that binge eating that I've been doing, focus on my food that I'm eating and while I'm eating it and how I feel, and just paying attention to my body and using food as a fuel source rather than a tool to punish myself or a tool to just have a good time and go crazy and just eat everything in the world. I always get a big giant plate full of food, and it's not even you know, it's more than I need, and then I don't want to waste it, so I got to eat it all. So that's another thing, is portions. I got to be smarter about that, gauge myself, and make sure that, you know, I'm getting the amount of food that I need rather than what I think I want. And then I won't be binge eating that food if I don't have that huge pile of food in front of me, right? So if you have a binge eating problem, keep watching me. I have it as well. I'm going to work through it. I'm going to break it down and definitely be able to deliver the message better to you guys. And when I do, you know, we can work through it together. So if you have that problem, recognize it, and let's start working through it, all right?